Speedgeeking with Coffeechug. Time to get shit done. Sorry my language if you find that offensive. It is what it is. What we're looking at here, this is now my 4th year doing this session. Every year revamping and tweaking and sharing what I use as an instructional coach now, as well as a teacher, to try to be productive and the tips and tricks that I use. So, party music. So as we go through here, a couple things that I want to share or bring you some context where we're going. After 4 years, I wanted to make sure that it wasn't just a session where I blaze through 10,000 things, which I'm about to do, but there's actually a rhyme and reason to it. And so on this link here, I've started putting together a guidebook. It's up to about 40 pages, and I've got about 20 more pages to add. And so there's a lot more tools that I'm using with some rhyme and reason to why I think they're productive. And so even though we're going to blaze through a lot, if you go there, there's tons of stuff there. There'll be a tutorial, they got videos and things coming out, just to keep sharing that information. More importantly, if you have things, I'd always love to learn from you, and that's basically ideas of anything as you steal from other people that have things figured out. And so this is just a whole presentation based on things that I've stolen from other people, tried, and it works for me. So a couple things. What we're really trying to do today in 15 minutes is to take your current reality where you are right now and move you to whatever that goal is. So I want you to be thinking about where you are now and kind of what are those things that you've always wanted to get done. To think about doing what you're good at or to get really good at what you do. So it's two types of thought here, and this is what I want you to think about in your classroom, as a parent, as a spouse. What are you really good at? And then what else do you really want to do to become better? And to do less of the shallow work, checking email, checking notifications, all this mindless activity, and moving more into deep work, actually getting stuff done. And so what we're looking at here is there's so many things online. You probably have already a list about 100 long already from yesterday of extensions and apps and websites and tools and all these things you're going to go back to school and use. And the reality probably is you'll get back to your job, you're going to be overwhelmed as you're out of the classroom or the school for 2 days. It's going to sit and you're not going to do anything with 99.9% of it. And you go, oh, I remember that was that great conference. I got to go again because I remember I got so many good ideas. I just never used them. So the goal is something bigger than that, and it's to figure out what gives your life meaning. As cheesy and cliche as that sounds, that's really kind of what I'm after. And so there's 2 rules. The only rules I always use every time in this presentation. Use only what you like. If it takes you too long to learn, then screw it, move on. And so if you kind of feel like her, just screw it, move on. Don't waste your time on it. It's not worth it. So I don't know if you've ever heard of the paradox of Uranus' ass, but there's this paradox where there's a donkey, and it's sit, and there's 2 piles of hay equal distance away. And the donkey is so confused, it doesn't know which direction to go, so it starves to death and it dies. Morbid, I know. The goal is to get you thinking to move a little step in one direction to actually do something. Use one of these tools or tips or techniques to be more productive. We've already talked about this. If you're not the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. So if you have other ideas, make sure you get out and share. So the system that I'm going to go with today is to avoid this. And this is what I like to think of as procrastinating, drinking coffee while procrastinating. It's the epitome of my weekends. I just sit and see how long can I possibly sit here and how much college game day can I watch before my kids and my wife give me something to do. And so the first idea to the system is this. Your system only has to make sense to you. So the things that I'm sharing and the things that you have to figure out, you have a system in place, whether you recognize it or not. It only has to make sense to you. My daughter drew this. I have no idea what the hell this is. Nor do I care. But it works really good for this slide and this point. So we're moving on. The other thing is that mornings are your most powerful productivity tool. I'm not asking you to get up at 4 in the morning, at 3 in the morning to do work. But you have to start to think about it in the mornings. Your brain is fresh. You haven't done a lot of what's called reactive work. The emails and the phone calls and the meetings and all these things that just sap all your energy. That is your #1 productivity tool. And in the mornings, that's when you have to get your good work done. Not laying in bed, checking to see who posted on Facebook last night. That's reactive work. Getting in and getting things done. The other thing that's really important is to make sure that you understand that it's okay to be bored. And I think this is just as important for our kids as well as ourselves. to have those moments where there's nothing going on. So many times when we have 5 seconds, we sit and we scroll on our phone, or we turn on Netflix, or we do something because we're an instant society. The goal here is to sometimes completely unplug. I had the luxury of driving back to Bettendorf last night and turning around and driving back this morning, and I made sure that I took some time just to drive in silence, which is really, really uncomfortable. It's terrible. And I was just like, I just want to put my Spotify on and jam and then sing my 90s R&B, but I had to go through, and it really allowed me to process some thoughts. So I think that's important that we do. This one here is a kicker. How many of you have a to-do list? Okay? Most of us operate this way. Here's my challenge to you. Try for like 2 days to go without a to-do list. Instead, create a schedule. Life is about your time. It's you. A to-do list is pretty much saying your time for yourself is not important enough, everybody else's time is. So if you build a schedule for yourself and your family first, and school and work and everything secondary, you're going to live a more productive life. Get rid of the to-do list. And it's something that I'm still working through, but I'm known for the to-do list of like 47 items, and I always feel great if I can cross it off, like, you know, drink coffee, yay, drink a second cup, yay, I feel productive. I haven't really done anything yet. The other key of this system is that most suffering comes from focusing on me, the self. So many times we get stressed or anxiety ridden, we're focusing on me. And a really quick, simple tip is just, and we hear this all the time, is to make someone else happy. So when you're stressed or you're tired, you've had a rough day, and you know no one understands what we're going through, no one understands what it's like, make someone else happy and get rid of it. It's amazing how that little gesture works. So, last little part of this system, I always encourage you to go first. And the conference is a great idea to test this out. One of the things I try to do is to reach out and beat someone to the punch. Beat them to be the first person to say hello. Be the first person to greet them. Be the first person to open the door. Little things like that help others, and they also help you. And these are just tips that work. This one here is huge in the classroom, as well as for your family and yourself. So many times we try to keep track of all the things we're doing in 10,000 different locations. We have it on our phone, maybe we have a sticky note on our computer, we've got a real sticky note, maybe on our desktop, and we've got a calendar on the fridge, another one on the wall, and we go, I don't know where anything is. Pick one spot. Just one spot for your family, and that's where everything is. In your classroom, same thing. We've got stuff on the whiteboard, we have it online, we have a newsletter to parents, and we got another thing we turn into AD. Pick one spot. People will adapt. It'll make your life easier. It helps kids. They know exactly where to go every single time. It just solves a lot of problems. And so many times we think we can layer all these things, all of a sudden everybody's going to be on top of it. And all you're doing is burning yourself out and confusing others. So the last kind of things to avoid and do not to do, and we'll get into the tools I promise. The goals here is to try to not multitask. Probably the hardest thing is probably most of you are multitasking right now. Making important decisions when you're fatigued or in a bad mood. It's the life of the educator, right? Constantly tired. But how can we work through that? Try to do meaningful work in 30 minutes. We live in a society of instantaneous where we want stuff now. Training your mind and your brain to focus for at least 30-minute chunks and building up to 90. That's where you get your work done. And that's how you have to get rid of the to-do list, so you schedule these times into your day. Don't lose sight of what's most important in life. That's yourself and your health and your family and friends. On top of everything, no matter what I show, that has to be number one. And it's easy to lose sight of those things for work and a job. But you can't do that. You can't spend all your time working. You can't eat garbage food. It's that darn to-do list. So, I'm going to give you literally like 30 seconds to self-process at like lightning pace to think about these 4 questions just in your own mind as we get ready to launch into these tools. What are your priorities? Really take a look at yourself right now, and we as people don't like to do these things. But where are your priorities right now, in this moment, where are you at? What are the 2 most important things that you want to get done tomorrow? Okay, you're sitting here, and I know as much as I say don't do a to-do list, I know you're thinking all these things you have to do. Emails are coming through, you get texts from your kids or whatever. What needs to be done tomorrow? But then also think about what provides value in your life. And those things that need to be done tomorrow, those are the same things that provide value. And oftentimes when you're stressed, it's because those two things are polar opposites. They're driving opposite directions. You need to do something about it. And your energy. You only have so much energy before you crash and burn. Where are you investing in? So just think about those things here just for a couple seconds, and then we're gonna roll. All right, so now you answered all your life questions in 10 seconds. All right, so here's the number one key secret. There is no right answer. So as you go through and you look at the document, the 40 pages of tools and apps and things I'm going to show you, you have to decide whether it's going to be helpful to you or not, or hinder. So the last thing is you have to move into action. So I encourage you as we go through here, even if I move on, try these things out. Some of these apps and tools, play around with them. Do them right now. If you say you're going to do it later, you're not. Okay? I've been to way too many conferences, sitting in the crowd saying I'm going to go back and mess with it, and I never do. I've got pages and pages and pages. So explore. I'm going to encourage you to do these things, as long as Wi-Fi is working, to mess around with these things. It'll be okay. We are so busy that we can't do things like this, where we're trying to fly through 10,000 things in the job that we accidentally spell someone's kid's name wrong on a rubric, because we're making decisions. Her last name is not shit. All right? I'm going to tell you that right now. And this just happened last week. I went back to the teacher. I said, before you give this back, you may want to take a look at this. He's like, oh my gosh, I had no idea. And I went through this whole thing, how tired he was. That's a problem. Okay? So, the first thing we're going to look at is our phone. Some tips and tricks with your phone. This one here is we have to realize society is changing. The phone is the computer. We have a lot of people here on devices, but in 3 to 5 years, majority of people and businesses are not going to be walking around with laptops. Everything can be done on your phone. You don't need to travel with these devices. We have to figure it out. And the days of the phone call don't exist. Now, I'm going to go back and insult some of I think I'm pretty clever. And this is something I just learned. And I feel so stupid that I've been working with, I've had an iPhone since day one, and Macs, I have more Apple products in the house than you can imagine. I just realized one of the things that used to drive me nuts was always trying to share my phone on my screen to do tutorials or presentations. And I was always trying to use, AirPlay and the Bluetooth to get, it just always was a lagging mess. So you're going to look at me like this guy is a moron, and you're probably going to walk out. But if you just plug your phone into your Mac and you use QuickTime, it automatically streams your entire phone. And you're probably like, yeah, no duh. This is something that's been around, 10 years. I just realized it. And so it was a good light bulb moment, especially for me to realize as many things that I use, it could be the first time learning experience for others. This just saved me so much time of making tutorials and videos for teachers and students in my building that I could never get it to actually go on my computer screen.
Is that only for iPhone?
I don't know. I don't have any other device, so you can just curious. Probably. Okay. I'm going to come back to some phone things here in just a minute, but I want to move to email because most of us are checking our email on our phones. The first one, I shared this last year, it's always so important. If you're a Gmail user, there is an unsend option in Gmail. There's so many times when we get an email from a parent or someone else, and we type angrily, like the furious keyboarding typing, or we want to make sure that we don't send something off. Or every once in a while there's a glitch, and sometimes it'll send before you hit send, like you're thinking about it, it hovers and it goes. In your settings, in your Gmail, if you're a user, if you go to your settings box, and I'm already pulled up, there's this option right here. And you can choose your buffer zone from like 5 seconds to 30 seconds. And it won't send it until that timer is up. And when you do, if you go to send an email, my Wi-Fi loads here, it should give me an option where it'll pop up here. Probably not going to do it now. But up there where it says loading, you can click, it'll say unsend, it'll actually pull it back. So that's just a huge feature that I think often gets overlooked. The other thing in here that I've learned is to, come on baby, when you're sending an email, don't type in the person you're sending it to first. Craft it first before you type the thing. It'll help you clear your mind, make sure it looks smart, looks intelligent, even if there's not any grammar, spelling errors, or emotional errors, it just gives you that little thing. That's the technique, and usually I've always done the opposite of typing the person's response first, and then I get going. This is just a way to kind of double check and make sure you're saying what you want to say. So much miscommunication happens in email. The other things with email clutter, the one that I've really started using is a lot of, with our kids, we're trying to get them to do different things in a real world audience. And so sometimes they need to subscribe and they have to verify their email. But in our school filter, no outside emails can come in. They're all blocked. And so we use email on deck, which is just one of many options. But what it will do is it creates that fake email. And so we use this all the time, so it's really simple. Let's see how long Wi-Fi lasts. Basically, you click and say, I'm not a robot. I've already had it created here, and then it'll give you this email. That's what you use up there. And then you send that out to that newsletter or whatever it might be, and then you can verify it here in this fake email, and you won't get any of that spam within your email box. It's good for students. It's also good for you. Sometimes you come across a website, and they're like, we'll give you this tip of 100 tips to use. And just give me your email. But you don't want to be emailed every day. You can use this, get the PDF, and then not be bothered anymore. So just really quick, simple little tip there. So here's another one, Boomerang. How many people use Boomerang now? You can schedule emails. You can type an email. So like a lot of times I do work like at midnight or 3 or 4 in the morning because I'm not actually much of a sleeper. And people look at me crazy if an email goes through like at 3:33 in the morning. So you can schedule when you want emails to go out. Really great tool. But they have something new now called Respondable. It's relatively new. Now when you're writing an email, but I won't go to it because the Wi-Fi is a little slow here. But as you're typing, it'll graph on the side what they think through algorithms, whether or not you're going to get a response. And you can keep writing it in a way so it helps you develop more clever emails. One of the biggest time sucks are those email chains where it's like, hey, I want to pick your brain. And the person's like, sure. And you write back, you want to meet in person? Sure. And next thing you know, you've got 40 emails going back and forth and you haven't covered anything. So this just kind of helps you like, all right, we're going to meet at this time, this place, boom, done. And it just kind of levels it and it'll show you the reading level and all that kind of stuff. It's just kind of clever as you're writing to see, am I actually writing productive emails? So if you haven't used Boomerang, a lot of great functions. This is a newer one that they've added. This one here I've just started using. This is called Focuster. It goes through and syncs with your calendar. And what this will do, it's kind of hard to read on here, but it'll tell you your day's life. It'll go through on your calendar and list all the free time that you have. So you lock in your work hours, and then anything else you add in your calendar, each morning you get this email. It'll tell you. So today I've got 4 hours and 15 minutes of unscheduled time, which I really don't, I'm driving, but then you can go through and figure out, okay, I can process. And so it may clutter your inbox and say you don't want it, but this is also nice. For me, I see it as a reminder going, wow, I actually do have 3 hours of freedom that I didn't think I had. I'm convinced myself I'm so busy, maybe I should go and spend that time with my kids. Or maybe sit and take an hour and drink a little bit more extra beer that I like. When it comes to the internet piece here, try to only have one browser tab. I'm the worst at this. I'm known for having like 4 different windows, and each window has like 70 different tabs, and then I wonder why my internet never works. So we're trying some tips here with your internet to help you with this. So probably, how many of you have your app notifications turned on? That's probably all of you. You don't have to raise your hand. Also probably set the vibration or some sort of tone alert. I challenge you to turn them off, just for a couple days and see how it goes. Except for like family messages, because obviously if your wife calls or texts, and you don't answer, that's not a good thing. You get yourself in trouble. But the rest of those, try turning them up and see how that helps. You're going to feel like you're missing out on the entire world. It's amazing if you give it yourself a couple days, how much you really realize how stupid this stuff is. By stupid, I mean like you go through, if you don't check Facebook every nanosecond, if someone posts like a recipe on Pinterest or what they're having for dinner or whatever it might be, down the road you go, I've got 70 notifications, you scroll through and you're like, I really don't care. It helps kind of put perspective of things that you have going on. The other thing is you go complete overboard. Just get a notepad and just try to go asynchronous. So I tried this with George's keynote yesterday. I got on my phone twice because he said two things that I really wanted to share. But I sat there with a notepad. I didn't sit on my computer. I tried not to get distracted by the emails and things popping up all over my computer. And I just sat there and tried to listen intently. And I did that this morning with Trace Pickering's conversation on Iowa Big. And it's amazing how much more you actually grab. Because it's easy to get suckered into an email, and then a tweet, and then a side conversation, and a text, and you've missed maybe 11 minutes of conversation where maybe there's that one little thing that could have really changed your life. This one here, this Just Get Flux, it's an interesting one. So if you get up in the morning or late at night and you turn your computer screen on and it like blinds you and your eyes hurt and you're like, oh my God, why am I even having this on? What Get Flux does is it mimics the time of your day. So in the morning, it's a very subtle yellow. It changes the color of your screen. So it's not bright. It doesn't like destroy your eyes. There's also some research, and you can find probably arguments the opposite at night. If you're focusing, a lot of you probably do work at night when your kids go to sleep or your husband or spouse falls asleep on the couch. You're looking at your screen, and it's so bright, they say sometimes that it confuses the brain and keeps you up later. So this will actually dial down the screen so you can get work done and not be so blinded by it. It takes some getting used to. It's weird when you open your screen up and it's like a yellow or a really soft hue. It adjusts, you put it in your time zone, and it goes with the sunrise and sunset. Pretty cool. This one here, access URL, probably nothing helpful at all, maybe an educational, maybe a little bit. This allows you to share password and login protected sites without giving your login and password. So I know it's highly illegal, but let's just say you're someone that uses Netflix and you share your login with someone. Not that you would do that. But you don't want to give them your password or login. You can use this website. You fill it out. You put an expiration date on it, and it'll send them the link, and they can get right in without knowing your username or password. This, I haven't used it yet with students. What I'm thinking is, at our school, we've got 10,000 different databases of usernames and passwords for kids. I really don't know how to keep it all together. If I was doing something in my class, maybe it's like a one-day activity, I could just blast that out, and they wouldn't have to worry about login and password. They could just, boom, go right to that database. We get in, we get our work done, and we get out. So I use it more for personal, not education, but it's a nice one to try. Tracker here, if you want to get a hold of your habits, there's another one I shared last year. I like this one better. They have it outside of Chrome. It's not just for Chrome. But what this does is it'll track all your website activity. It'll put it in a nice, wonderful chart so you can see how you're spending your online time. This is an eye-opener, and you're probably like, no, I check Facebook like maybe 7 times a day. And it's like, oh, 4 hours and 12 minutes, and you check it 94 times. It opens your eyes, like, holy cow. Like, I did not realize all those little moments really do add up. So this is just an interesting thing just to kind of have it on and get that chart and just kind of self-evaluate yourself. This one here is, it's called Toby. So if you are a person, you can obviously see I have a few tabs up. I'm trying to get down to just one tab only. But what Toby does is you can layer your tabs into key lists. So here's my primary list, and with these 4 tabs, these are things I have to cover today. I can make another list for like school, and you can just a different visual layout of your tabs on a screen, and you can just kind of bounce through and organize the tabs as opposed to having them all across the top. You can add this on, and you can layer them however you want. So it kind of organizes your chaos. If you're going, no matter what you say, I'm not going down to one tab. So this could help kind of navigate some of that. And so this is a basic screenshot of what I have, where I'm in George Couros' MOOC right now. And so I've got some things that I want to make sure I take care of, some blog idea developments, and then just my key list of stuff I want to get done before I leave this conference today. Blinkist is, this is a subscription, but what it does is a database of over 100,000 different nonfiction books, and it knocks it down into 15-minute little chunks, or 15 little chapters. You can read it, and take the book for literally about 10 minutes to read, or you can listen to it on audio. So for my car rides, I knock out a lot of books, because I can get the key pieces in 15 minutes, and if there's something that really, really pokes my interest, then I'll go check it out and I'll read it more in depth and get all the nuts and bolts. But this one, if you're into nonfiction, I don't know what the fee is. I got on the site a couple of years ago, this app Sumo, and I paid like a one-time fee and I have access for life. But it's not very much, but you can go in there, and then as the books that you read or listen to, it then gives you recommendations on what else you should explore. So this is just a great way, if you don't have all the time in the world to read, to kind of figure out if there's something there that you can explore. Like Soul the Octopus, something I never ever would have read. That's no interest to me, but as I was reading or listening to it the other day, there was a ton of great connections about life and survival and how they deal with stuff and eat creatures and all. It was good. I was able to make a connection, so that part was nice. Adobe Post or Spark. See if I can get this to pull up here. If anybody used this is probably my favorite photo. Tied for first favorite photo app on my phone right now. It's called Spark Post. Let me see if I can load this up here, and I'll show you. What I like about it is you can create a lot of different things. So we use this quite a bit in our classrooms. In my room, we do this a lot as we're documenting student work, or launching for our projects, or documenting kids into action. And it's really easy to use. It's a website as well. The website's much more exhaustive, and there's a lot of things you can do. I think the app plays nicer. But you can create all sorts of things. So I'm an Instagram junkie, so I share a lot of these quotes and ideas. It's a great way for me to capture, if I'm reading a book, I'll put those quotes in and just share things out. You can adjust the fonts and size. Let's see if I can get this going here, hopefully. But it's a great one to use. And then on the website, it keeps them all stored kind of, it looks like a Padlet, and you can just stream. Another great thing about this one is if you go on there, there's already pre-made ones, and you can just pick a template and swap it out with your own images. Or you can see the quote and take that quote and just run with it. It's not going to load on this one. The other one that I just started playing with, this one's Legend. Let's see if this one loads. It's a small fee, I think it's $1 or $2. But what it'll do is you can bring text to life. And so this is my awesome bulldog that is currently for sale. She's lovely. She loves couches and shoes, anything she's not supposed to eat. But you can take a picture or video, and you can weave in words, and you can choose. There's all these preset templates of how the words move in and navigate. This is another nice feature. We've been using this quite a bit. Anything that moves seems to gravitate, for at least in the classroom, kids' attention. So we use this a lot as like our opening question in our classroom. Some teachers are now using this as like their driving question or the question of the day, like, or do you have your pencil? Or now for us, do you have your Chromebook? And go on that route. I think it's like $1 or $2. That one's not free. This one here is great. And so searching for pictures, this lab's 500 pics. So check this out. Come on, hope it loads. What you do is you have a palette here while it's loading, and you pick the colors that you want and where you want them, and then it will go and search the web and give you pictures that have that color palette. So as opposed to searching by keyword, you can search by color. Come on. Just work one time. But if you get it, if you go to this labs.500px.com, there it is. Come on. And so if you just take like the paintbrush and you just wipe like a brown swab like right down the middle, it'll give you everything brown. You can add a little green or red off to the side, and away you go. It's really, really sharp. So here it is. So we can pick a color. Okay, I'm just going to add a little pink here. And if it will load, you can start to see these. And I can pick by topic if I want. So things with pink will start to load down here. Then I could go back up here. So this is great. It's just a different way to search, and hopefully it'll show. You can just keep playing with this palette thing. And kids really like this. Just one more option as opposed to always doing the keyword search. It's a pretty powerful picture that show, which obviously aren't going to do right now. But I love this one. It's one that you easily get distracted with. You probably already know about this one, but in case you're looking for those free stock photos, Pixabay has tons of them. Always teaching that copyright, Creative Commons license with kids, and it's just more you can find. It's just one more of the several websites to add to your arsenal. We use this probably more than any website for pictures with kids. Prisma, most of you are probably already on this. This one, you take a picture, and it comes with all these awesome filters. What's great about this, it allows us to share things in our classroom without actually showcasing kids' identity. So when I was taking kids out to the cemetery for a field trip, we're putting together a podcast series on haunted locations in the Quad Cities and why they're haunted in the history. We wanted to be respectful of the tombs that the graves that we were exploring. We wanted to be respectful of the kids' identity and all that stuff. And so we just take pictures, and this one was just like mosaic or colored glass. And here's just another one of my robotics. I really like this. You can get the point across. It's visually appealing, and it just keeps everything kind of protected and private. And the other thing that's great about it is kids love this app. Kids use this, once you show them and you start sharing stuff, they use it for their own stuff. And so it's just one of the new apps that's currently popular, but I really like it just for that safety kind of function. And you can just keep slobbing through to find the filter you like and post it, and then away you go. Some other life tips. Okay, this one, no education value whatsoever. I'm just going to preface that. But Instant Watcher, if you're a Netflix or Amazon Prime user, this website will show you currently what everybody's watching, like right now. It'll update the list of what people are watching and what's new and noteworthy on these channels. And so, yes, I know they have their algorithms, but for some reason, I love seeing what people are watching. I'm like, oh my gosh, why would someone be watching that? And I click it and end up watching some stupid documentary or movie that maybe really shouldn't. So maybe it's not a productivity tip, but sometimes you just need to turn your brain off. I just like it. So it's just one more option to kind of see what's going out there. The other one, we talked about calendars. Simple things, we talked about eliminating the to-do list. And so one of the things that I encourage you to do, I do this on Sundays. And on Sunday evenings, I schedule my time for the week. And it's something that I'm working on to eliminate to-do lists. What I do is I schedule family first. So where is it? Am I at playtime for my 5-year-old? Do I have to get my kid here? Do I need to make sure that I'm watching the practice? Do I have these times built in for family? And then I do work and everything else. And I color code it, which most of you already do. But the key is to schedule your time on that Sunday or whatever time works for you. The key thing that you have to do is schedule time for yourself. And so I block out hour chunks where there's nothing I'm doing. I'm shutting the door in my office and I'm grinding and I'm getting my work done. So people always ask me time and time again, where do you find time to blog and make videos and do anything else? I put that time in. Now for me, it's early in the morning when everybody's still sleeping. You figure out what works for you. Some of you are night owls. Some of you, maybe it's in the middle of your day. And I do the same thing in school. As an instructional coach where I work with teachers to build their projects and we bring their projects to life, people come in my room every 7 seconds. And I never get anything done during the school day. And I always tell my wife as a teacher, I spend more time at home doing schoolwork now than I did in the regular classroom. That's not a woe is me, because I love what I do, but I can't get anything done. And it's a good problem to have, that people are tapping into the resources to be helped. So I put on my calendar, I chunk like 45-minute blocks, and I just sit there and say, this is Maxwell research time, where I have to grind and get this stuff done for this teacher. And understanding that you can't come in my room now, but I'll block that time for you to get you this stuff done too. And you can't do it all the time. I can't say, all day I'm busy. That doesn't work. You have to figure out a system. And I think the biggest key here is to build that time in for yourself. So many times we put everybody else before ourselves. If we don't take care of ourselves, we can't take care of others. And I know that's so cliche, but it's still so important. And most of us don't do this. And you need to build that in. I'm going to plug Vicki Davis's book. I don't know if you know Cool Cat Teacher, but she has this book. It's a self-published book. It's like $4 called Do What Matters. And the only reason I'm sharing this is to avoid that to-do list and planning. This book, it's not earth-shattering in terms of what the book is talking about, but what is really powerful is she has shared every single planning template she's ever used. There's a ton, and so it's promoted as 108 templates, the ebook, there's PDF templates, every time she has a new one she shares. And so what I encourage you, if you've got $4 and you're looking for a way to schedule, is to take these templates and copy and paste what you like and make your own. Sometimes we don't know how to get started. And so take something that's already been there and be like, oh, I like this part, I like this part, I don't like that, and craft it and make it your own. This is also helpful, is how we kind of help teach kids how to schedule. And we're doing projects now that are taking semester long, and we tell kids, whoa, you know, your presentation's in December. Well, I've got forever. I'll start working on it in November. We can kind of help build these templates and these life skills in with the kids. In terms of writing and distraction-free writing, I love this one here, this Big Huge Labs. I like it because it's like old school, with this black background with the green font. You can write online and it saves it for you. It's kind of like a Google Doc, and so there's not a whole lot of difference, except for you pull it up. But for some reason, I seem to get more done on this in a Google Doc. I don't know if it's just because I like the green font, the black background, but it's just a place that works for me. And so this is where I write and just like kind of brain dump all my ideas. And then when I pull it out, it saves it, and away we go. And so it's just one more different way to process thoughts. You may already have a system. This is just what I'm currently using. And I should probably preference that every 3 months I make myself learn a new system. And so in 3 months, I won't use that website anymore. I'll make myself learn something new so I don't get stagnant in the process. This one I have been using now for well over a year. It's called the Most Dangerous Writing App. I plugged it last year, but I don't feel like I did enough parenthesis. I want to bring it back. You set a session length, and you have to keep typing. And if you stop typing, you lose it. However, if you type, you can pick your time. And so this is what I'm talking about, that deep work. Like, it'd be great for you guys at some point today to go to 3 minutes and just write about what you've learned at ITEC. And at 3 minutes, if you make it, you can save it. It'll save it at that point. That's the reward. But if you stop, the words start to fizzle. It's about a 3 to 5 seconds. You'll see them start to fade. You're like, oh, shit! You know, but you can pick. And so now I'm to the point. I've been doing it for a year. I'm only on some mornings I can get to like 10, but mostly 5 is where I hover. But this is just great to get those thoughts out of your head. And sometimes that's all you need. Sometimes you don't have to do anything with the ideas. You just got to get them out of your head. So like before, like Sunday night, my head was spinning because I had this new information here. I redid my whole makerspace thing. I had a Minecraft I've never done. I could not sleep. And so I just got on here and I just wrote about, so stressed, it's gonna suck, everyone's gonna hate, no one's gonna show up, blah, blah, blah. And I got it out, and I was like, oh, I don't need to save it. I'm not gonna share that. It's not anything about right now is proud or need to be documented, but I got it out of my system, boom, I'm good. So this kind of informs you to make the time to write. So just a good one. It's also good for kids. Sometimes you just need just a rough draft. Like, I don't know where to begin. Say, I bet you can't do it for 3 minutes. It works for some kids. Some kids will tell you to pack sand. Class charts, a couple things in the classroom. Anybody use class charts? Holy smokies. Okay, so you gotta check this out. Class chart is like class dojo plus seating assignment like on steroids. There's a lot to use it. The 2 key things that teachers in our building are using it for is you can create a seating chart. Woo, big deal. But there's all these options, and it'll automatically recycle the seating chart based on what you want. Do you want it grouped in groups of 2 or 3? Do you want all boys? Do you want all girls? Do you want it random? Do you want it based on behavior? Because what you can also do is you can reward behavior like Class Dojo right in here. So we have an amazing first year teacher in our building that uses this. He has it up on the screen. And what's great about it, he's just like, hey Kelly, you're doing great work back there. Boom. And all of a sudden this thumbs up goes. Or boom, we need to get you on work. Boom. The negatives don't pop up, but you can record it. And then you can shoot if you want, you'll email the parents out. Like, hey, your kid got 7 good positive rewards. Or you can store it, and that's what he does. He's going to store it and then bring it to like conferences. Like, hey, here's where we're at. And just an everyday check. And he's got a touch screen, so it's kind of like Class Dojo user. He can just touch it, like, boom, pay attention, raise arm, and you can do that for participation. You can scan to see who hasn't contributed an answer. You can organize this however you want, and then use that data to sort seating charts and everything else. It's just another tool to help you. If you're already knee-deep in Class Dojo, if you're one of those users, maybe look at it. It may not be a breakthrough for you, but you haven't. Like my wife always complains about seating charts. She hates making them, and we use Infinite Campus. She does too in her school, and she hates it. But there's no other method. Here you just remix. I went here, I went there, and it just does it. So just a great tool. Bouncy balls. Anybody use bouncy balls? All right, we got some people. This is just a noise visualizer, and so we'll see if it works here. This is great if so we have a lot of project time work in our building, in our classes, and so you can adjust the noise level, and it'll keep track through your mic. So, as I'm talking here, you're going to see them bounce. You know, if you guys just start kind of hooting and hollering as you see your race, go ahead. Okay. So what we'll do is, on our smart board or a thing, a teacher will put a level, like your volume just can't get higher than this. And you can adjust this. I mean, there's, the kids like the emoji one. I think the eyeball one is good for Halloween right now. And so this is just another kind of visual. Maybe you got to figure out the timing for it. But this is just great opportunity to put something in your room again to kind of just control the volume. Like, hey, we're getting above the mark, and the kid's like, oh, should we bring it down? It can be a distraction. You know, you're always gonna have that kid gonna come up to the mic, go, 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 go. You know, that kid's gonna be loud no matter what you do. So, all right. ViewPure is, so we just launched Chromebooks in our building last week. We were fully implemented, all 1,100 kids, and trying to figure it out. And we're in knee-deep in Google Classroom, this and that. So a lot of teachers are starting to post videos. So what you can do with ViewPure, it's a website, you put it in any channel, and it eliminates all the riffraff around it. So all they can do is just the video. So as we're posting things to Google Classroom, it gives you the link. We'll see if it works here. It's just a nice way. So I go to YouTube. Let's see if this will follow. All right, so we can take this video that, you know, if you want to show, we all know the comments and all the side things that we typically see. You can go into ViewPure, you post that, you just paste the link in, it'll purify, eliminate all of just the video, and then you just take the web address and that's what you share. And it's all they get is just the video. They can't, there's no way around it. So this is just great, especially for sharing things out, or you're sharing stuff out with parents and stuff. You got like a newsletter, and sometimes you're just not quite sure what's going to be on the side. There's nothing more embarrassing than something really weird popping up. Like this is like all they get is just that thing. And you just copy and paste this web address right here, this ViewPure, and away you go. And that's all they get. So it's just another way to kind of declutter the focus.
I have a question about that.
Yep.
Would that help get around a YouTube vlog that the kids were on?
I don't think so, no. But you can download YouTube. Here's one, not tech related. This is like a really good in coding. It's called the rubber duck test. I don't know if you ever have your kids that just can't quite figure out, like they raise their hand 10,000 times, they want help, but they don't know what they want help on, and just, I don't know if you have those, we have a few. So we just call it the rubber duck test, and it works really well. This also works really well with teachers who are stuck on a problem. We're trying to build out a project, they're not quite sure like what it is that they need. They know that it's not good enough, they're not sure what. We just have them do the same way, they just basically explain to a rubber duck what they're doing and what they're stuck on. And 9 times out of 10, I don't know, we have actual rubber ducks. We bought it from like Oriental Trading Company, by like 100 for like 4 cents. Actually, have them look at the duck and talk to it. It's so cheesy that they'll actually do it. And 9 times out of 10, they're like, oh, that's the problem. because I couldn't figure out what to say. Right there is the glitch. When they stop talking and they can't, boom, boom, now we've got it. As a coach, that's my entry point to help them now. As a student, they now can move on. And now it kind of becomes like a joke with kids, like, oh, people talking to the dog, you know? And then they do it in mockery and they solve their own problem. So I have like 3 robotics games, and this is what we do. And now it's like a big joke. But through the joke, really the joke's on them because they're not raising their hand asking me to do everything. This one here, I don't know if you're on Snapchat. There's not a whole lot of value of education. I love Snapchat. I don't quite understand it all, but what I love, I learned this. I actually learned this in the Innovator's Mindset MOOC. We started off the year, or the book study, and we were sharing class hacks. So book snaps, what people are doing now is they're reading. And on Snapchat, you can do your art, you can add emojis and all that good stuff. Take a picture, and you write your ideas, add your emojis, and share it. And then in your story, not to give a whole Snapchat breakdown, you can download that story. And you take all those images, and then we load those up like into a short little YouTube video. And there's my synopsis. Here's the Cliff Note version. So I do this now. As much as teachers want to have time to read all the books and things, sometimes they can't. So I can break that down. I can just send out, here's a 10-second Snapchat story on this. Something intrigues you, let's push forward. It might be, I haven't used it with kids. I don't know that would be the answer, but that's definitely where they're at. Maybe something down the road as things get more comfortable. But there's like the first major kind of like education use I've seen of Snapchat, besides this filters of deers and cats and everything else that I love. This one's so stupid, but since we got 4 minutes of time, when I'm in bed at night reading and writing, this pen has a light on the tip. So I don't have to wake my wife up, and I don't have to get punched anymore, and I can read and I can make my notes right in the margin without a bright nightlight not bothering her. It's stupid, but it works. The other thing, I always talk about changing things up. This is another really dumb one. So most notepads are just your typical notepads. I started buying landscape notepads, and it's like the greatest thing I've ever bought. Because all of a sudden having space this way, it's amazing how I change my writing, my structure, how I organize my thoughts. It's so dumb, I know, but it's really like, buy one and just see how it radically shifts how you typically use a piece of paper. Okay, so I got 3 minutes. I got two. These are not productive. Okay, they're so awesome. I have to show you. All right, first one is this. So we're gonna skip down. Okay, you may, I don't know. My wife hates Kanye West with the most fiery passion. I like him. So don't judge this idea on Kanye. But you can be your own Kanye. So you take this picture for your phone. Your hands up, or your dog. I'm trying to get my bulldog, but she's kind of snarky. It could be your kids if you wanted to be cute. Your hands up like this, and then when you get a text message, look how awesome this is. So it's kind of holding up a sign. In this case, my wife, I told her, send me a text so I can show the people. And she's like, words can't explain how handsome you are, but numbers can. 3 out of 10. So I'll make sure to let her know she makes the biggest laugh. So really stupid, but you know, you can have some fun with it with your phone. The last one is this. Okay, so everything I showed you, hopefully maybe you've got one idea to help you be focused. This one could ruin it all for you. Okay? This could ruin your conference. You're going to get suckered in, so you have to use this with caution. It's kind of like crack cocaine for internet. It's called Jiffy Tabs. Here's what happens. And by the way, never share this with students. You'll never teach again. When you open up a new tab, it's GIF TV. It's just a non-stop stream of GIFs. Of course, the internet's slow. And you go through it and you just watch GIFs for days. And if you like one, you click on it and you can download it right there in the spot. So it's a portal of ADHD heaven. So you get your coffee in the morning, like, I'm gonna do some of that distraction-free writing. Let me open up a new tab. Oh, I like that GIF, yeah. There are those. There's some really good ones. You know, be careful where you watch. Sometimes they sneak a really good one in there. And the last one, I got 1 minute. I don't know, has anybody played Google Feud? Okay, so this is really fun one. It's also kind of a fun drinking game if you're drinking. But then what you have to do is figure out autocomplete. So it'll give you what the phrase, what people search, and it's actually what people actually search. And you have to guess. It's like Family Feud. And you have to guess what do people normally say. So, like this one here was, I did this this morning. I think I'm a, we had time to go through it. I didn't guess. But these are the real top answers what people search for. I think I'm a bunny. It's just a sofa is number one. I don't understand that concept. You can go through, and it's just another little time waster. But it's there. So, I hope you found something useful. I know it's lunchtime. Thank you so much for that.